Hey everyone, today we are going to break down a really cool formula for creating a super successful faceless YouTube channel. And the wild part? It's pretty much all powered by AI. So let's just dive right in. So let's talk money. $4. What is that? Well, that's the kind of RPM, revenue per thousand views, that channels using this exact formula are pulling in, and they're doing it consistently. The amazing thing here isn't just the number, it's the predictability. This isn't about getting lucky with one viral video. It's about building a system that delivers time and time again. And what is this niche? It's almost genius in how simple it is. We're talking about faceless stick figure motivational channels. And you know what? These things are just blowing up. I mean, they're gaining thousands of subscribers with, get this, sometimes less than 100 videos. It's a proven concept that has tapped into a huge, hungry audience. All right, so to show you how it's done, we've laid out the whole game plan. First, we'll look at the viral formula, why it even works. Then we'll jump into crafting the blueprint with AI. After that, we'll generate all our core assets, then edit them for crazy high engagement. And finally, we'll tie it all together so you have a content creation engine you can just run with. Okay, first things first. Before we start building anything, we gotta understand why this whole thing works so well. It's not random. It's a very specific mix of things that it turns out both people and the YouTube algorithm just can't get enough of. So what's the secret sauce here? Well, a few things. First, you've got this sticky animation style. Simple stick figures or whiteboard drawings. It's super engaging, but doesn't get in the way. Then the storytelling is just relentless. It's so fast-paced, you can't look away. And when you put those two together, you get massive audience engagement, which is like a giant green light for the YouTube algorithm. It's basically a perfect storm for going viral. All right, time to build our blueprint. This is the pre-production phase, and our number one tool, our kind of co-pilot for this whole thing, is going to be ChatGPT. We're going to use it to build the entire foundation of our video. I'm talking from the very first idea right down to the prompts for every single image. And here's what's so cool about this system. It's incredibly efficient. With just one really well-made prompt, you can get ChatGPT to do 3 jobs in a row. First, spit out some viral video ideas. Second, write the entire script broken down line by line. And third, create a unique image prompt to go with every single one of those lines. It's all done in one go. Now, this next part is super, super important. It is the golden rule of this whole visual strategy. You have to remember this. One line of script means one image. That's it. That's the secret to getting that fast, relentless visual pace we were talking about. A new line is spoken, a new image pops up. Simple as that. Okay, a few pro tips to get the absolute best stuff out of ChatGPT. First, don't ask for the entire script at once. It's just too much for it. Tell it to generate it in 2 or maybe 3 parts. The quality will be way better. Second, when it asks you about the script pace, you always pick the fastest one, like 150 words per minute. And finally, you'll notice it'll stop and ask you if it should keep going. Just keep hitting it with a yes until it's spit out the whole script and all your prompts. Okay, so we've got our blueprint from ChatGPT. Now it's time for production. This is the fun part, where we take all that text and start turning it into the actual audio and visuals for our video. And the toolkit here is actually pretty simple. For the audio, something like 11 Labs is perfect. The voices named Adam or Chris seem to work really well for that motivational vibe. And for your pictures, really any good AI image generator works. The only rules are, keep the stick figure style consistent and make sure you're generating everything in a 16:9 aspect ratio for YouTube. Okay, so here's a big question. How do you get your main character to look the same in like dozens of different images? The trick is this little thing called a seed number. You can think of it like a unique recipe number for that specific image. When you lock that number, you're telling the AI, hey, use this exact same starting recipe every single time. And that's what gives you that awesome consistency for your character and the style. So here's how you do it. Step 1, generate your main character. Give it a really detailed prompt. Once you get one you love, you find its seed number and you lock it in. Then you download that picture. And here is the most important part of this whole step. You upload that image back into the tool as a reference image. That tells the AI, okay, every picture from now on needs to look like this guy. It's how you get that perfect consistency. Okay, here's a really simple tip, but trust me, it will save you from a world of pain later. As you're making all these images, we're talking 60, 70, maybe even 80 of them, number every single file as you download it. O1, O2, O3, and so on. This matches up perfectly with the lines in your script and makes editing so much easier. Don't skip this. And now we're at the final, and I'd argue the most important stage, the edit. This is where all the pieces come together. We take that voiceover, we take all those images, and we stitch them into that high-impact, super engaging final product that the algorithm is just going to eat up. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, right? How in the world do you actually create that signature, nonstop, relentless pace? The thing that makes these videos feel almost hypnotic. Believe it or not, the answer is so simple, but it is so powerful. You take the voiceover you got from the AI and you cut out every single pause. I mean everything. Every breath, every tiny little gap between words and sentences, gone. What you're left with is the solid, nonstop audio track that just pulls the viewer along and forces that fast pace for the whole video. It's a total game changer for engagement. So here's how the edit comes together. Once you've chopped up that voiceover, you sync each image to its line. Then you start layering things on top. You add some strategic captions for emphasis, maybe some arrows or circles to guide the eye. You add some subtle effects to make it look professional. And then you lay down some background music to tie the whole package together. So just as a quick final checklist for your edit, number 1, cut all the pauses in the voiceover. Make sure every image lasts exactly as long as its spoken line. Use captions, but only on the important words to make them pop. Use little stickers like arrows to tell people where to look. And finally, toss on some subtle effects and a little filter to make the whole thing look crisp. Okay, so we've gone through all the individual steps. Now it's time to zoom out a little. Because what we've really built here isn't just a way to make one video. It's a powerful, repeatable engine that you can use to pump out tons of content. So let's just recap the whole 5-part workflow real quick. 1. Understand the viral formula, that's the sticky animation and fast pace. 2. Use ChatGPT to create your entire blueprint. 3. Generate your voiceover and all your images. 4. Edit everything with a focus on high engagement. That means no pauses. And 5. You publish, you see what works, and you do it all over again. And all of this kind of brings us to a final, bigger question. When you have AI tools that can streamline literally everything, from the first idea to the final cut, are we looking at the new normal? Is this the blueprint for being a content creator now? I mean, this process makes video production accessible to almost anyone, which is incredible. But what does that mean for the future of creativity itself on places like YouTube? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this one.